Cocoon polyester underfloor insulation is a very popular and versatile product. Distinctly orange in colour, the material is made from 100% polyester material. It's actually 50 to 60% recycled PET bottle, which means your Coke bottles and milk bottles are put to good use. It's like putting a big fluffy blanket under your home. The product can be installed in two different ways. The first is to install material between your floor joists. Where you do this is where you're wishing to retain headspace in, say, a garage or workshop area, or when you're working around your plumbing areas. The second and better way of installing Cocoon underfloor insulation is in blanket format. The product comes in a 1200 wide sheet and is stapled across the bottom of your floor joists. The reason this is so much better is not only are your floor joists insulated as well, creating a more complete thermal envelope, but you're actually trapping a pocket of still air behind the insulation between your floor and the insulation. This significantly boosts the overall system performance that you achieve from the material. This video shows you the two different ways of installing this insulation. To install Cocoon polyester blanket format, you need a few basic tools. Firstly, you'll need a heavy-duty staple gun that can take 14mm heavy-duty staples, a good pair of sharp scissors, Cocoon joining hooks or joining strap, and a tape measure and a marker. We recommend that you install Cocoon polyester blanket in sections from bearer to bearer. It's important that you use quite a bit of force when stapling Cocoon polyester underfloor insulation. You're going through thick material and into old heart removed joists. So give it a good whack and test it a couple of times before you move on. It's important with the blanket format that all ends and gaps are blocked off. The air gap between the insulation and your floor must be held still. Measure the distance between your bearers, this may be 1.8 or 2 metres, and then hand tear sections of Cocoon that can be stapled up into place right up the bearer run. Start at the end of your house. Staple the first Cocoon sheet up into the bearer. The staple should be approximately 25 centimetres apart. Lift the sheet up and staple it onto the opposite bearer, making sure it is straight and that you've left enough to secure it to the edge. Fix the edge up, then staple the material up onto each of the joists it covers. Staples should be approximately 40 centimetres apart on the joists. Always be aware of what you are stapling into and watch out for wires. Once the first sheet is secure, start working your way up the bearer run with the other sheets, ensuring they stay straight and are a tight snug fit together. If you cover over any wiring or surfaces, use a marker pen to write on the material so you or someone else can easily find it at a later date. If your sheet edges don't meet up on the same joist, they will need to be joined or held up into place to avoid them sagging. You may use either Cocoon joining hooks or joining strap. When using the hooks, hold the edges up tightly together and hook the two sheets up. The hook should be a distance apart that holds the sheets neatly up together. This is usually around 30 centimetres. If you are using joining strap, cut pieces long enough to reach comfortably between joists. Staple one end up to the joist, stretch it across tightly to the other, and then staple into place. If you are not doing your whole house, you will need to ensure that open ends are plugged up to avoid heat loss and to keep the air behind the insulation trapped. To achieve this, simply cut pieces of Cocoon the right size and staple them up into the gap. Installing Cocoon polyester pre-cut material between your joists is a lot less complicated than installing it in blanket format. The tools you require are a heavy-duty staple gun, heavy-duty staples, a minimum of 10mm long is recommended, and a measuring tape. Measure the different joist spacings across your home where you intend on installing the material. You'll need Cocoon polyester between the joists pre-cut material 10mm wider than the joist spacings. It's okay if it's a little bit wider than this, as the material folds and pushes in quite easily. Open the bale of Cocoon polyester and pull the material up in between the floor joists. gently pushing it up to your floor. Pinch the bottom edge of the Cocoon polyester and staple it into the sides of the joist. It's important that you staple it into the sides of the joist and not up to your floor, as this may compress the product and take away from its overall performance. Whether you're installing Cocoon polyester in blanket format, silver zone or polystyrene, we recommend that you use some Cocoon polyester pre-cut widths for installing between your joists, around your plumbing and under wet areas of your home. This is because the polyester is a breathable product that will allow moisture to pass through it in the event of a flood or if your plumbing happens to leak. It also leaves plumbing exposed if access is required at a later date. Measure the joist spacings around the areas you intend on installing Cocoon. This is to get the right material widths. Use Cocoon material that is a minimum of 10 mm wider than the joist spacing. Gently pull the material up and over pipes and push it to the floor. The bottom edge of the Cocoon should be stapled into the side of the joist to secure it. Don't staple through the material to the floor to avoid compressing it. Be sure to leave taps, vents and other plumbing fixtures exposed.